We live here on the East Coast. Eve announced to us in late January that she found the puppy that she wanted to buy. It resulted in us doing a road trip to Even, Minnesota. Steffi and I volunteered to go along and kind of have a little fun while we were on the road. After driving all day Friday, spending the night in Davenport, and then an early start on Saturday morning, passing through Cedar Rapids at about 6:45.
As we were driving, I commented to Rob, I said, that is a huge medical center.
And the sun was just beginning to break the horizon, and Steffi said, "Look, Eve, look at the sunrise." To which Eve responded, "Something's wrong."
I was dizzy and couldn't seem to focus. I thought my arm was just asleep. I thought I had been sleeping funny on my arm. When I was waiting for the blood to rush back, I realized that the blood wasn't rushing back to my arm.
We made the U-turn about 8 or 10 miles north. We were back there in less than 10 minutes.
I tried to get Eve out of the car and she couldn't stand. And somebody from inside of one of those Angel of Mercies, you'll never know their name, came up with a wheelchair.
Within probably the first half hour, I know that I had an IV put in. I know that I was on my way to have an MRI done. They were very attuned to whatever symptoms I was showing.
The first doctor Eve saw was Dr. Carter, and that was in the emergency room.
Eve was lucky to come to our medical center. She came in a fairly brisk period of time, and she was fortunate that we could get to her very quickly, get our therapies for her right away, get evaluated both with labs and CTs and neurology immediately so she could stop any further symptoms from happening.
Eve had been having symptoms and they didn't realize that they were stroke symptoms and that this was something given them warning signs. People do have signs and symptoms of a stroke all the time and they ignore them. If you do come to the hospital within a certain time period, there is a treatment for stroke now, which we never used to have.
When you start having the definite neurologic signs of the speech deficits, of the vision, of the arms or legs or balance doesn't work properly, the window is very brief. 3 hours is what we like to have everybody in to the hospital and get therapy for.
It was a horror, the idea of a 48-year-old daughter having a stroke, but at the same time, we couldn't have been treated better.
Here they were thousands of miles from home and knew no one. So of course we wanted to make them feel like we could help them in any way.
She was very instrumental in making me feel human again.
I do have to say this about Kelly, because every time I was there and she walked through the door, I had a sigh of relief.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, everything's okay, Kelly's here.
Bottom line is that I think every nurse and every volunteer, all of the people that Eve saw at rehab, across the board, the entire crowd made us feel like it was an extended family.
We felt like we had an army. We thought that we had an army behind us, that we were going to take this journey and we had all these people, a team of people rooting for us.
Yep.
I felt like we were going into battle and everybody there was on our side.
We were there for exactly a week. The following week was one of the most fantastic weeks that we've ever had.
On the day that Eve left, we were joking about things, and we said that she had to figure out a different name for her dog because she had to tie it to this whole experience in Iowa.
Well, I had what's called a transient ischemic attack, and
TIA.
a TIA. So I said, oh, well, let's call her Tia. If something this traumatic in my life was going to happen, I cannot be more grateful for it happening where it did. It wasn't just about me, it was about the three of us and this journey that we took.
I'm a better person. I know I'm very clear about what it takes to be a good citizen of the world, and what it takes is to have a little bit of Iowa, especially the people in St. Luke's, in your heart. That makes you a better person.